The secret modern medicine doesn't want you to know: the two root causes of all diseases. Welcome back to Strong from Home, where I share natural healing methods from world-renowned experts, helping you understand your body better and restore true balance from within. In today's video, we'll dive deep into the natural healing methods shared by Barbara O'Neill in her talk about water and salt. But this isn't just a summary. It's about uncovering why such simple methods have helped thousands regain their health and rebuild trust in their own bodies. If you've been struggling on your healing journey, unsure where to start, or if you've tried everything but still don't feel truly well, then this might be the most important video you'll watch right now. Because everything I share today is distilled from hours of research, observation, and reflection to help you understand the roots of true healing in the clearest, most practical way possible. Before we talk about healing inside each cell, let's go back to something everyone's heard of, but few truly understand. What is a cell? You may have heard that word thousands of times, but let's look at it differently. A cell isn't just something tiny from your biology textbook. It's a living brick, the foundation that builds everything you are, the skin you touch, the heartbeat you feel, and even the thoughts flickering in your mind. Right now, every type of cell in your body is carrying out its own unique mission. Muscle cells are like tireless workers, helping you move, expand blood vessels, and support your entire body every single second. Liver cells are silent chemical factories, turning the food you eat into energy, filtering out toxins before they return to your bloodstream. Nerve cells are lightning-fast cables, sending signals in a split second, helping you pull your hand away from heat or burst out laughing at something that makes you happy. So how are these cells actually nourished? This is the magical part most people don't really understand. Every time you eat, your small intestine absorbs nutrients: glucose, amino acids, vitamins, and minerals. Water-soluble nutrients go straight to the liver through the portal vein, while fat-soluble ones take another route through the lymphatic system before reaching the liver. There, liver cells perform incredibly sophisticated work, synthesizing, converting, and storing energy. Some of that energy is turned into immediate fuel. The rest is stored as glycogen or fat, ready whenever your body needs it. After that, blood carries this energy everywhere. But here's something fascinating. Blood never directly touches your cells. There's a small space between them called the interstitial fluid, where nutrients must diffuse through before they can finally enter the cell. And once inside, a whole new world awakens. Tiny energy plants called mitochondria are constantly at work, creating ATP, the energy that allows you to breathe, smile, think, and live. Imagine your body as a vast rice field. Your blood is the stream of water carrying oxygen, minerals, and nutrients to every root. Each cell is a rice plant, where life truly happens. When every plant gets enough water, minerals, and sunlight, the whole field is lush and full of life. But if the water dries up or the soil loses its minerals, each plant starts to wilt. And soon, the whole field weakens. Your body works the same way. True health doesn't begin with medicine or supplements. It begins inside each cell. Once you understand what a cell truly is, you'll see why all life, energy, and healing start right there. Now let's move to the part everyone's been waiting for, the key to the body's self-healing ability. The secret Barbara O'Neill revealed in her famous Water and Salt lecture. What made people who had lost all hope suddenly come back to life through something so simple and natural it almost seems unbelievable? What helped a 57-year-old man who suffered for years from chronic stomach pain caused by Helicobacter pylori, a pain so severe he relied on daily medication, finally eat, sleep, and live comfortably again without drugs? Or a 44-year-old man who endured years of chronic headaches, chest tightness, shortness of breath, and back pain, who thought his body had completely given up, finally experience his first full night's sleep in years simply by practicing natural healing principles? These may sound like miracles, but they're not. They're just what happens when the body is restored to the right environment it needs to heal itself. What truly saved these people wasn't a new drug. It was a shift in belief. From surrendering their health to medicine, to taking back the power within themselves. Many had spent years searching, spending money, and losing hope, but only when they returned to the natural principles Barbara O'Neill teaches did they rediscover what modern medicine can't sell: health, vitality, and hope. So what made her method so powerful, helping so many recover without medication? It all begins with 7 simple steps of natural healing, powerful enough to awaken the body's built-in ability to restore itself. Step 1. She helps people return to the body's original source of energy, pure nutrition from nature. She gives them fresh, organic vegetable juices, plant-based meals, whole seeds, and healthy fats. Each meal doesn't just feed the body. It becomes a natural medicine that brings cells back to life. When the body receives what it was designed to have, it begins to regenerate. Gently, yet powerfully. Step 2. She helps bring the breath of the ocean back into every cell. She uses pure Celtic sea salt, the kind that retains all its natural minerals and oceanic energy. She teaches people to sprinkle a little on their food, and most importantly, to place a tiny pinch on the tongue before drinking water. That tiny action may seem meaningless, but it actually awakens the body, activating deep hydration in every tissue thanks to the natural magnesium in the salt. Step 3. She teaches people to restore the habit of drinking water, the purest energy of life. It's not about drinking a lot, but about drinking the right way. She tells them to sip slowly, taking small mouthfuls, and to feel each stream of water flowing into the body. Before drinking, place a small grain of sea salt on the tongue. It opens the door for absorption. She teaches them to drink water 30 minutes before meals and 1 hour after meals, giving the digestive system the best conditions to work properly. It's these subtle habits that allow the body to be truly hydrated, not just filled with water that passes through. Step 4. She introduces herbs, Earth's purest gifts, into the healing process. Each herb is carefully chosen for each person. For those with gut issues, she uses slippery elm bark, which can coat and soothe the intestinal lining like a natural protective layer that helps the body heal from within. Other herbs are combined to support the liver, kidneys, and immune system, all working together toward one goal: restoring the body's natural balance. Step 5. She helps the body open its detox pathways. Without chemicals or drugs, she teaches them to sweat through steam baths, allowing toxins to leave through the skin, the body's largest detox organ. At the same time, she encourages gentle daily exercise to keep blood flowing, cells breathing, and life energy awakened. And just as important, proper rest. She always emphasizes that during sleep, the body performs its greatest miracle. It heals itself. This entire process isn't just detoxification, it's giving the body back its natural right to cleanse and renew itself, something no medicine can replace. Step 6. She reconnects them with sunlight, the most powerful healing energy nature gives us every day. She encourages people to sunbathe so the body can naturally produce vitamin D, the key that allows calcium and minerals to enter cells. She often says, without sunlight, the body is like a garden without light. No matter how rich the soil, no seed can sprout. Through sunlight, their bodies grow stronger, their spirits lift, their skin glows, and a new vitality begins to bloom from within. And finally, step 7, she reignites their belief in the body's own ability to heal. She says, your body was created to heal itself. Just give it the right environment, and it will perform miracles. She teaches them to let go of fear and doubt, to place trust in God or simply in the perfect biological intelligence within. When the mind is calm, every cell vibrates at the frequency of healing. That's not just spiritual faith, it's belief in the miraculous mechanism of life itself. Because within each of us, there's a silent doctor, just waiting to be awakened. From Barbara O'Neill's videos and case studies, it's clear that whether it's dementia, stomach pain, or chronic headaches, she always begins with these 7 steps. They're not magic, they're the 7 golden principles of natural restoration, something anyone can learn and apply to their own life. And then comes the question that makes everyone pause. Why do these natural, seemingly simple methods bring such powerful results? While expensive and potent medications can only mask symptoms without ever reaching the root cause, the answer is actually simple. Because her method doesn't treat symptoms, it treats the root. And according to Barbara O'Neill's teachings and countless recovery stories, the root of disease always begins with 2 deep causes. First, deficiency within the cells. Second, silent toxicity inside the cells. These 2 are the twin roots of nearly all chronic diseases. Yet modern medicine often sees only the tip of the iceberg. Now, let's look deeper into the first cause, the one that slowly drains your body's energy, vitality, and self-healing power: cellular deficiency. It may sound abstract, but imagine this. Your body is like a garden. If that garden lacks water, minerals, sunlight, or gentle breeze, what happens? The soil dries up, the plants wither, and life fades away. Your cells are no different. Each one is a tiny plant in your body's garden. If they're not nourished by clean blood, oxygen, minerals, and life energy, they become weak, unbalanced, and lose their ability to repair themselves. Only when your blood is truly clean. When every cell is hydrated, mineralized, and activated through movement, can the cells awaken? They begin to produce energy, rebuild their structure, restore function, and bring your body back to its natural state of self-healing. The innate ability every human is born with. And to nourish healthy cells, there are three foundational elements you can never overlook: water, minerals, and movement. Now let's dive into the most familiar yet most powerful one: water. Water isn't just something that quenches your thirst. It's the river of life, where every exchange, absorption, and elimination takes place every second, from the smallest cell to the most complex organ. Everything depends on water to transport nutrients, carry energy throughout the body, and flush out hidden toxins produced in every metabolic process. But here's the more important question: are we truly hydrating, or are we just letting water pass through us? Barbara O'Neill once said, "Don't just measure how much water you drink, watch how much water your body can release." Water only matters when your body can process it, meaning your kidneys are strong, your digestive system runs smoothly, and your body moves regularly. That's when every drop you drink is absorbed, filtered, and released naturally, keeping your body cool, light, and full of vitality. A healthy body is like a clear river. Water flows in. Water flows out. No stagnation, no blockage. But when that river becomes polluted, low in minerals, your kidneys are sluggish, and you rarely move. What happens? No matter how much you drink, the water doesn't stay. Your body flushes it out too quickly, leaving you tired, heavy, and sometimes even thirstier than before. On the outside, you may seem hydrated, but inside, your cells are drying out. Why? Because water can't enter cells on its own. It needs minerals as the key. Sodium, potassium, magnesium, and calcium are the minerals that help water stay inside tissues, balancing electrolytes and maintaining life energy. So, if you're drinking water but still feel tired, start by rebuilding your body's mineral foundation. Through fresh, whole foods, natural mineral salt water, or homemade electrolyte drinks. Then, observe your body's response. If your urine is light, steady, and clear, and you feel lighter, stronger, and more refreshed, that's the sign your filtration system has unlocked again, and water is finally being used properly. Not just passing through, but truly absorbed by your cells. Remember, don't force yourself to drink by a number. Let your own body guide you, when to drink and when it's enough, and never forget. Not all water is living water. A crystal clear glass doesn't always mean it's good for your cells. The deciding factor lies in the quality and energy of the water. Living water is clean, natural, and rich in trace minerals. The kind of water that can conduct energy and support every biochemical reaction inside your cells. On the other hand, water that contains fluoride, chlorine, heavy metals, or chemical residues gradually disrupts your mineral balance and damages enzymes, the nervous system, kidneys, and liver. If you want water to return to its true healing nature, choose pure water that still has its soul, filtered through activated charcoal or a system that preserves its natural minerals. That's the kind of water that nourishes each cell, awakens vitality, and helps your body flow again in harmony with the rhythm of life. Next, let's go deeper into the second essential element of life: minerals. If water is the river that carries life, then minerals are the invisible sparks that make that river conduct electricity, transmit information, and bring energy to every cell. Without minerals, water is just a lifeless stream. But when water and minerals combine, they become the energy of life, something every living being, including humans, depends on to survive. Over a century ago, French physiologist René Quinton, 1866 to 1925, astonished the scientific world when he discovered that the mineral composition of human plasma is almost identical to that of seawater. That means that within every drop of your blood flows a miniature ocean, an ocean containing all 92 essential minerals. These tiny elements hold tremendous power, sustaining life, generating energy, and activating the body's innate ability to heal itself. In her famous lectures, Barbara O'Neill didn't list all 92 minerals. She focused only on the core ones, the true keys that unlock the cell's capacity to regenerate and repair. And that's exactly what we're about to explore together. But first, pause for a moment and picture this familiar scene. When you're exhausted, dizzy, dehydrated, or weak from losing electrolytes, doctors don't immediately give you medication. What do they do first? They give you an IV. And what's in that IV? Nothing mysterious. Just purified water, sodium chloride, potassium, calcium, magnesium, and sometimes glucose, depending on the type of IV and the patient's condition. It's formulated to closely match the electrolyte and osmotic balance of your plasma, so when it enters your bloodstream, your cells immediately absorb the water and minerals, restoring their ability to produce energy and function again. That's why many patients feel better just minutes after receiving an IV. Not because of magic, but because their cells just received the exact fuel they were missing. Similarly, when doctors detect low magnesium, calcium, or potassium in the blood, they'll replenish these minerals through IV or supplements, because even a small deficiency can disrupt cellular signaling, cause muscle spasms, or trigger irregular heartbeats. From this, it's clear that modern medicine fully understands the vital role of minerals. When the body loses electrolyte balance or becomes mineral deficient, doctors can identify it instantly and restore homeostasis through IV fluids or supplements. When cells receive adequate minerals, they absorb water, transmit signals, generate energy, and rebuild themselves. However, true cellular vitality goes beyond these mechanical functions. For cells to produce energy, detoxify, repair DNA, and regenerate, the body needs more than just a few isolated minerals. It requires a sophisticated mineral and electrolyte system where dozens of trace elements like zinc, selenium, manganese, copper, iron, iodine, and chromium work together, supporting thousands of enzymatic reactions every second. That's why it's so important to eat and drink natural, organic foods. When you drink a glass of fresh vegetable juice, you're not just consuming one or two minerals. You're getting a harmonious blend of dozens of microminerals. This natural balance is the language your body understands. When your cells receive nutrients in this natural form, they can produce abundant energy, flush out toxins, and activate the self-healing mechanisms that no synthetic pill can replace. So, what should your daily diet include to ensure your body always has enough essential minerals? Keeping your cells stable, preventing electrolyte imbalance, dizziness, or fatigue. The answer lies in 8 foundational elements. The body's natural language of communication. First, natural salt, the essential mineral source for your cells. Natural salt doesn't just provide sodium, it also contains magnesium, potassium, zinc, and calcium, all of which help maintain electrolyte balance and cellular function. From a physiological perspective, sodium plays a key role in glucose absorption in the small intestine. The surface of your intestines is covered with millions of microvilli, tiny structures that absorb nutrients. Here, glucose can't pass through cell membranes on its own. It needs sodium through a process called sodium-glucose co-transport. Simply put, glucose is the fuel your cells need to make ATP, and sodium is the gatekeeper that opens the door, allowing glucose to move from the intestines into the bloodstream and reach your cells. That's why when sodium levels drop too low, either from eating too little salt or losing salt through sweat, glucose absorption slows down. Glucose remains in the gut instead of entering the blood, leaving your cells starved for energy. As a result, you may feel tired, dizzy, weak, or unable to focus, even if you're eating enough. That's why natural salt and trace minerals aren't just seasonings. They're the body's energy conductors, enabling cells to absorb, exchange, and generate energy efficiently. Second, fresh vegetables and fruits, the natural source of potassium for your cells. If sodium brings nutrients into the cells, potassium carries waste and excess water out, maintaining stable electrical potential and cell volume. Biologically, sodium and potassium form the sodium-potassium pump, one of the most essential mechanisms in almost every living cell. Every second, millions of these pumps move sodium out and pull potassium in, creating the electrical gradient that powers all life processes. Nerve signaling, muscle contraction, movement, and a steady heartbeat. When your body lacks potassium, this system falters. Nerve signals weaken, leaving you fatigued or sluggish. Your heartbeat may become rapid, fluttery, or irregular as heart cells lose their electrical stability. Muscles cramp from the imbalance between sodium and potassium ions. On the other hand, when you eat enough natural sources like leafy greens, sweet potatoes, bananas, avocados, spinach, coconuts, or citrus fruits, the potassium they provide helps stabilize blood pressure, steady your heartbeat, and keep your cells energized. In short, potassium is the biological counterbalance to sodium. Both elements work together like two electrical poles, helping maintain the bioelectrical rhythm, the foundation of life in every single cell. Third, dark leafy greens, seeds, and whole grains, the natural sources of magnesium for your cells. Magnesium is most abundant in dark green vegetables because the magnesium atom forms the core of the chlorophyll molecule, the substance that allows plants to absorb sunlight and convert it into energy. So when you eat leafy greens, you're actually absorbing sunlight energy transformed through the life of the plant. Magnesium is also found in nuts, beans, whole grains, and in small amounts in natural sea salt. It's one of the fundamental minerals of cellular life, participating in over 300 enzymatic reactions in the body, including ATP energy production, DNA synthesis, heartbeat regulation, muscle contraction, and nerve transmission. Inside your cells, energy is mainly produced in the mitochondria, tiny power plants within each cell. However, the energy molecule ATP, adenosine triphosphate, only becomes active when it binds with magnesium to form magnesium ATP. Without magnesium, your cells can't efficiently produce or use energy, leaving you tired, easily stressed, and low in vitality, even if your diet seems adequate. Magnesium also helps maintain electrolyte balance and stabilize the cell membrane's electrical potential, allowing ions like sodium, potassium, and calcium to move in and out of cells in a controlled way. This enables your cells to absorb nutrients and water, keeping your heart, muscles, and nervous system functioning normally. Simply put, magnesium is like the ignition key that starts the energy engine inside every cell. When you have enough magnesium, your body runs smoothly and rhythmically. But when you're deficient, that engine weakens, and you begin to feel drained without knowing why. Fourth, get regular sun exposure to synthesize vitamin D, the guide that helps calcium unleash its full power. Calcium is vital for strong bones, teeth, and muscle contraction, but it can't enter cells or bind to bones effectively without vitamin D. When you're in the sun, your skin absorbs UVB rays and produces vitamin D3, which is then converted by the liver and kidneys into its active form, calcitriol. Calcitriol is the guide that helps your body absorb calcium and phosphorus from the intestines and promotes calcium delivery into bone and muscle cells. Vitamin D also activates calcium transport channels on cell membranes, allowing calcium to move precisely where it's needed. Not just in bones, but also in muscles, the heart, and the nervous system, where it regulates contraction and bioelectrical signaling. When vitamin D is deficient, the door for calcium absorption stays locked. No matter how much calcium you take, your body can't use it effectively, leading to weak bones, muscle fatigue, or irregular heartbeat due to ion imbalance. That's why 20 to 30 minutes of morning sunlight daily doesn't just strengthen your skin. It also activates your body's natural mineral absorption system, ensuring calcium and other minerals are delivered to the right places in the right way to sustain life in every cell. Fifth, eat calcium-rich natural foods like seaweed, sesame seeds, beans, and small fish. Calcium isn't just the building block for bones and teeth. It's an ion that orchestrates many life-sustaining cellular activities. About 99% of calcium resides in bones and teeth, while the remaining 1% circulates in blood and cells. But that small fraction is what drives cellular function. Calcium acts as an intracellular signal, the language that cells use to communicate and respond to the outside world. When a cell needs to act, its internal calcium level temporarily rises, triggering a cascade of processes, nerve transmission. Calcium enables neurons to release neurotransmitters, keeping the brain and body in smooth communication. Muscle contraction. From the heartbeat to the movement of your limbs, every contraction and relaxation depends on calcium. Energy production. Calcium activates enzymes in the mitochondria, the cell's power plant, to generate ATP, DNA repair and replication. Calcium regulates cell division, helping the body repair damaged tissue, stabilize cell membranes, and form strong tissue connections. Calcium literally helps cells hold hands to form stable, resilient tissues. That's why calcium deficiency doesn't just weaken bones. It also disrupts heart rhythm, causes muscle fatigue, reduces concentration, and impairs energy production, affecting every cell's vitality. Sixth, eat legumes, seeds, fish, and meat, the main sources of protein and healthy fats for your cells. These two nutrients form the foundation for cellular structure, energy production, and repair. Proteins, made of amino acids, are the building blocks for cell membranes, enzymes, and internal cell structures. Your body uses amino acids to create enzymes that catalyze biochemical reactions, hormones that regulate cellular function, and to rebuild muscles, skin, hair, and connective tissue, all beginning at the cellular level. Healthy fats, especially omega-3 unsaturated fatty acids from fish, nuts, and seeds, are key components of the cell membrane. They help keep the membrane flexible, support metabolism, enable cell-to-cell communication, and reduce inflammation, all of which help cells function more efficiently. When your body gets enough protein and good fats, your cells can repair DNA, regenerate structures, produce ATP more efficiently, and resist oxidative stress and aging. That's the true foundation of a body that's strong, flexible, and full of vitality. Seventh, eat small amounts of naturally sweet fruits. What fruits bring to your cells isn't just energy, it's protection and renewal. Fruits contain natural sugars like glucose and fructose, fast-acting energy sources your cells can use almost instantly to fuel your body's functions, from heartbeat and thinking to tissue repair. Glucose is burned by mitochondria during cellular respiration to produce energy, while fructose is metabolized more slowly by the liver, helping maintain steady energy between meals. Fresh fruits also serve as a biological shield for your cells, supplying vitamin C and powerful antioxidants that neutralize free radicals, protecting cell membranes and DNA from damage. They also provide natural enzymes and minerals that support metabolism and cellular repair. Fruits are rich in structured biological water, molecularly organized water that's easily absorbed, keeping cells hydrated and maintaining electrolyte balance. In short, fruits provide instant energy, antioxidants, and living water, giving your cells the fuel, protection, and recovery they need every day. Eighth, eat brown rice, sweet potatoes, or quinoa. If fruits are the quick energy source, these are the steady and sustainable fuels for your cells. The natural starches in these foods break down gradually into glucose, which cells absorb and convert into ATP, the energy currency that powers every second of your life. Here's the key difference. Glucose from natural starches is absorbed slowly because of the fiber content, providing steady energy without the blood sugar spikes caused by refined sugar. B vitamins in brown rice and sweet potatoes help activate the enzymes that drive energy metabolism inside cells, while minerals like magnesium and manganese support mitochondrial function and maintain cell membrane electrical balance. In short, natural starches are a sustainable energy source for your cells, keeping ATP production stable and continuous while providing essential vitamins and minerals to sustain endurance, focus, and long-lasting vitality throughout the day. Make sure your diet includes all 8 of these food groups. They are the fuel and building materials that help your cells generate energy, regenerate, and function in harmony. Beyond these 8 foundations, you can also include herbs or specialized foods depending on your body's condition. But the most important thing is to listen to your body's language, because everyone's cellular rhythm is unique. When you learn to listen, you'll know when to add more, when to ease off. And that's how true health begins from within. Now, I know some people might think, my teeth are weak, I can't chew tough vegetables. I'm vegetarian, how can I get enough fat? Brown rice is dry and hard to eat, how can I stick with it? Those concerns are completely valid. In fact, most people who struggle to eat natural foods like vegetables, seeds, or brown rice often have a deeper issue: a serious mineral imbalance. When minerals are depleted, teeth become weak, enamel erodes, and digestion slows down. That same imbalance often underlies multiple chronic conditions like high blood pressure, diabetes, or constipation. If your teeth are weak, don't worry. It doesn't mean you can't eat vegetables or maintain a healthy diet. Instead of chewing hard vegetables like cucumbers or raw greens, choose sprouts, baby greens, or soft-cooked vegetables. Easier to chew and digest while still packed with nutrients. You can also blend vegetables with roots like carrots, beets, and celery to make fresh juice, allowing your body to absorb nutrients directly into the bloodstream without straining your teeth or digestion. What matters isn't how much you eat, but finding the right way to bring the living energy of plants into your body every day. And for those who are vegetarian and often worry about lacking fats or energy, I have a small but incredibly effective secret for you. Try making sprouted brown rice milk at home. It's a simple recipe, but the nutritional value will surprise you. All you need to do is blend sprouted brown rice with sprouted legumes like chickpeas, peanuts, or soybeans. Add a few cashews or walnuts for extra creaminess. Then pour in just enough water. Since sprouted grains boil at a higher temperature, adding too much water can cause the milk to foam and spill over when cooking. Once the milk thickens and becomes smooth, mix in some hot water, then add pure coconut oil and palm sugar for a naturally sweet, rich, and fragrant flavor. The result is a thick, creamy, energy-rich glass of sprouted brown rice milk, full of healthy fats, plant-based protein, and natural minerals, all from the purest ingredients. This isn't just a drink that makes your skin glow and your hair shine. It's also clean energy that nourishes your cells, leaving you feeling light, strong, and full of life every day. For anyone who's tried brown rice but gave up because it felt dry, hard, or difficult to eat, I completely understand. But the truth is, brown rice isn't hard to eat. You just haven't found the right way to choose and cook it. My advice is to pick a type of brown rice that has small, naturally fragrant, slightly sticky grains. Before cooking, soak the rice for about 3 hours. This small step wakes up the grain, making it softer, easier to cook, and much easier to digest. When you cook, use a multi-layer electric rice cooker so the heat distributes evenly and the rice cooks from the inside out. The result will be soft, tender, slightly nutty brown rice, delicious on its own, and even better with vegetables or tofu. With just a small change in how you prepare it, brown rice won't feel tough or boring anymore. Instead, it becomes a warm, nourishing dish that feeds both your body and your mind every day. Now let's move on to the third factor that helps your cells truly thrive: movement. The question is, how can minerals enter your cells most effectively? The answer lies in two quiet but powerful operators within your body: your heart and your movement. The heart is not just a muscle, it's a miraculous biological generator. Each heartbeat is triggered by the movement of sodium and potassium ions across the heart cell membrane, creating tiny yet powerful electrical impulses that make the heart contract and pump blood throughout the body. With every beat, oxygen, minerals, and life energy are delivered to every cell, nourishing, repairing, and renewing them every second. But the heart alone isn't enough. It can pump blood, yes, but it's your movement that acts as the wind pushing that flow deeper and farther. When you walk, jog, or simply stretch regularly, hundreds of muscles contract and release in rhythm. This natural motion creates gentle pressure that helps your heart pump blood more efficiently, driving oxygen and minerals into your cells many times faster. At that moment, your body becomes like a river stirred to life, no longer stagnant but vibrant and full of energy. Blood flows more freely, cells are bathed in nutrients, and your body's ability to produce energy, repair, and self-heal is activated. That's why people who move regularly are not only stronger but also younger in body and mind, with brighter skin, clearer thinking, and sharper focus, because every cell in their body is truly alive, breathing, and transforming every day. Think of your body as a perfect biological factory. Blood is the stream of raw material that sustains life. The heart and your movement are the keys that open the flow of energy. And your cells are tiny power plants, constantly metabolizing, absorbing, and regenerating. When these three elements work in harmony, the flow of life energy moves through you, bringing strength, clarity, and joy from deep within every cell. By now, you may start to see why water, minerals, and movement profoundly affect each cell, and in turn, your body's ability to self-heal. This isn't some far-fetched medical secret. It's a basic biological foundation that allows your body to stay balanced and heal naturally, even from chronic conditions like high blood pressure, kidney failure, or diabetes. At this point, you might be wondering, how can minerals heal high blood pressure? When we think of hypertension, most people immediately assume it's caused by narrowed or stiff arteries. That's true. But it's only a small part of the bigger picture. In reality, chronic high blood pressure begins much deeper, with a disturbance in the balance of minerals and electrolytes inside the cells. The human body operates through the delicate coordination of 4 key minerals: sodium, potassium, calcium, and magnesium. They don't just maintain the electrical potential of cell membranes. They also regulate metabolism, nerve transmission, and the contraction and relaxation of smooth muscles in blood vessel walls. When the body becomes dehydrated or mineral balance is lost, ion distribution inside and outside cells becomes unstable. Cells lose their ability to maintain proper electrical potential, causing blood vessels to constrict, nerve signaling to falter, and natural vascular flexibility to decrease. At that moment, the brain, the control center, quickly detects low oxygen and poor blood flow from tissues. It immediately activates the sympathetic nervous system, making the heart beat faster and blood vessels tighten to increase circulation pressure. This is a protective physiological response, forcing blood and nutrients to reach deprived cells. But if this condition persists, the nervous system and blood vessels lose their ability to self-regulate, and high blood pressure becomes chronic. The imbalance of sodium, potassium, calcium, and magnesium thickens and stiffens blood vessel walls, while the heart works harder to maintain blood flow. The body enters a vicious cycle. The higher the pressure, the less oxygen cells receive, and the more exhausted the heart becomes. Modern medicine can temporarily control this with blood pressure drugs or electrolyte solutions, but that only treats the symptoms, not the root cause. True healing begins when the natural electrolyte environment of the cells is restored. That can only come from organic, balanced, and easily absorbed minerals, the kind found in soil and fresh plants. Once your body has enough minerals, something miraculous happens. As cells are replenished with minerals and water, their membrane potential stabilizes again. Sodium and potassium ions exchange smoothly, calcium regulates smooth muscle contraction, and magnesium allows vessels to relax naturally. The result? Blood vessels become soft and elastic. Blood flows freely without the heart having to strain. Heart rhythm stabilizes, and blood pressure gradually drops naturally. Not because of medication, but because your body has regained its intelligent self-regulation. At that point, each cell feels reborn, filled with oxygen and nutrients, charged with renewed energy. Your body enters a state of natural biological balance where every organ works in harmony, and healing happens effortlessly from within. Now that we've understood the first root cause of weakness, the deficiency within the cells, let's explore the second cause, cellular toxicity. So, what is toxicity inside the cells? It's when there are harmful substances, like heavy metals, industrial chemicals, pesticide residues, food additives, electromagnetic radiation from Wi-Fi, 4G, 5G, phones, and other electronic devices, or even biological toxins from snakes and insects, enter the cells and disrupt our biological processes. But toxins don't just come from the outside. Our own bodies can generate them internally through physiological reactions, especially during prolonged stress. When under stress, the adrenal glands release hormones like cortisol and adrenaline for short bursts, helping us react quickly to danger. But when stress becomes chronic, those hormones remain high, causing electrolyte imbalance, oxidative damage, and cellular inflammation, leading to premature aging and reduced self-healing capacity. Simply put, your cells are like tiny living factories, producing energy, repairing tissues, and eliminating waste. But when too many toxins accumulate, these factories become clogged, damaged, or start malfunctioning. Biologically speaking, toxicity can occur through several mechanisms. Toxins can attach to the cell membrane, altering its electrical potential and disrupting the exchange of ions and nutrients. They can invade the mitochondria, the cell's power plant, reducing ATP energy production, which leads to fatigue and loss of function. Toxins can also oxidize DNA or proteins, causing mutations, chronic inflammation, and premature aging. They weaken detoxification enzymes in liver or intestinal cells, preventing the body from neutralizing and eliminating toxins effectively. In short, cellular toxicity isn't just about consuming something poisonous. It's a process where toxins infiltrate, occupy space, paralyze, or damage the cell's natural systems. When millions of cells are affected at the same time, the body starts showing symptoms like fatigue, inflammation, allergies, or other chronic conditions. So what should you do if your cells are toxic? Most people's first reaction is to turn to medication. But here's a truth few people realize. Medicine only works when your cells are healthy enough to receive and process it. Why is that? Because the human body is a sophisticated biological system where every process, from absorption and metabolism to detoxification, is controlled at the cellular level. Once you take a pill, its journey begins. It passes through the stomach, where part of the active compound may be broken down by stomach acid, and then moves into the small intestine, where the main absorption happens. Millions of epithelial cells with microvilli on their surface absorb the drug molecules and transport them into the portal vein, the direct route to the liver. In the liver, specialized cells act like intelligent bioprocessors. They transform active compounds into usable forms while neutralizing or breaking down harmful substances. Only after passing this screening process does the beneficial portion of the drug enter general circulation, traveling through the bloodstream to reach target tissues and cells throughout the body. When it gets there, the active compound must pass through the cell membrane, a double phospholipid layer with highly selective permeability. This process depends on membrane potential, lipid flexibility, and electrolyte balance, especially sodium, potassium, calcium, and magnesium, if your cells are healthy. With flexible membranes, balanced electrolytes, and stable internal energy flow, the compounds can easily diffuse or be actively transported inside, where they bind with enzymes and receptors to perform their intended functions. In that state, medication works efficiently, cells respond well, and recovery happens naturally and quickly. But if your cells are weak, with rigid membranes, poor elasticity, or electrolyte imbalance, transport through the membrane becomes restricted. Drugs can't effectively enter, treatment becomes less effective, recovery slows, and no matter how accurate the dosage, your body doesn't have enough energy to respond. The excess medication and unnecessary metabolites are then processed by liver and kidney cells, the liver excreting through bile, and the kidneys filtering and releasing through urine. From this, it's clear that the entire chain, absorption, metabolism, and detoxification, all depend on the energy and vitality of your cells, from intestinal to liver cells and beyond. That's why two people can take the same medication. One recovers in weeks, while the other takes months without results. It's not because the drug doesn't work, but because one person's cells are too weak, lacking the life energy needed to respond. So the right approach isn't to look for stronger drugs, but to combine both, the right medicine and healthy cells. In other words, medicine is just a tool. The cell is the true healer. If the worker is weak, no matter how good the tool is, the job won't get done. Once you understand the relationship between medication and cellular health, a natural question arises. Should you use Western medicine or traditional herbal medicine? To answer that, let's turn to the insights of Dr. Brian Ardis, who revealed a truth few dare to say about how the modern pharmaceutical industry really works. He explained that pharmaceutical corporations travel the world searching for plants that indigenous people have used for centuries to heal and restore health. But their goal isn't to learn from nature. It's to copy and synthesize those compounds in a lab, then patent them for exclusive profit. For example, in many cultures, people use valerian root to relax the nervous system and improve sleep. It's completely natural. You can dry it, brew it, and it helps you sleep deeply without harming your liver or kidneys. But when pharmaceutical companies discovered this plant, they didn't say, "That's amazing, let's grow valerian and share it so everyone can benefit." No. They took samples to their labs and told scientists, "Find out exactly which compound in this plant helps people sleep. Once you find it, isolate it, tweak its structure a bit, Add a few carbon atoms and turn it into a new synthetic compound, something we can patent and sell under our own brand name. The result was a man-made version of valerian, called Valium. At first glance, Valium's structure looks similar to valerian root, but the key difference lies in the artificial chemical bonds that were added. These bonds make the liver work much harder to break them down, because the human body wasn't designed to process synthetic compounds. When you take natural valerian, the liver only needs mild enzymatic action to absorb it easily without harm. But when you take Valium, the liver must produce far more enzymes, increasing the risk of inflammation, while the kidneys must filter out unnatural byproducts. Over time, this leads to chronic damage in the liver and kidneys. Even though you only started taking the drug to sleep better. The truth is, over 90% of modern drugs are derived from natural compounds. But during synthesis and patenting, corporations have turned what was once pure into something the human body no longer recognizes. Every time you introduce a synthetic compound into your body, the liver and kidneys must work overtime to identify, break down, and eliminate it. If they can't, those toxins gradually accumulate, quietly leading to chronic diseases of the liver, kidneys, heart, and immune system. Nature has already given us everything we need to heal: plants, herbs, and minerals, all created in the very language that the human body understands and can absorb. In the end, Western medicine is just a synthetic version of nature, created for profit, not for true healing. That's why, when we choose to return to nature, it's not just a journey to cure an illness, it's a journey to awaken the natural intelligence within the body. Over millions of years of evolution, that intelligence has been perfectly refined in every single cell. Every ability to repair, every healing miracle already exists inside you. Nature simply helps awaken it. At this point, you may partly understand why Western medicine works so quickly, because in reality, it's just a man-made imitation of nature. Doctors in modern medicine know that most illnesses come from nutrient deficiencies or toxin buildup, so they prescribe the right drug that can directly target those symptoms. The result? You feel better fast, the pain eases, sleep comes easier, blood pressure stabilizes. But here's what few people talk about. Those synthetic compounds no longer carry the natural mineral balance and life energy found in real plants. They're concentrated chemicals made in laboratories with altered molecular structures, changed just enough to be patented and generate profit. And it's those very artificial changes that make the body pay the price. The liver and kidneys, the organs responsible for metabolizing and eliminating drugs, must work non-stop to process compounds the human body was never designed to recognize. Over time, this overload leads to inflammation, declining function, and eventually chronic damage. That's why modern medicine can often control symptoms, but rarely brings complete healing, especially in liver and kidney diseases, the very organs that suffer the most from the drugs meant to treat them. By now, you can probably see why, when illness strikes, the goal isn't just to find a medicine, but to find truly natural and organic sources of healing. Traditional cultures have passed down a rich heritage of herbal medicine, where every plant, every root, every leaf carries its own healing power. Some help detoxify the liver, others support the kidneys, neutralize snake or insect venom, remove heavy metals, or simply improve digestion and boost natural immunity. If you can, grow some of these plants around your home, your own living medicine cabinet, where nature is always ready to help when your body needs it. Since this video is getting long, let me summarize the most important points so you can remember it easily. Almost all diseases, whether fatigue, pain, or dysfunction, come from two root causes. The first cause is deficiency inside the cells, lack of water, lack of minerals, and lack of movement that helps cells exchange nutrients and energy. It may sound simple, but this is the very foundation of human physiology. The body operates on bioelectric energy, and for this current to flow smoothly, cells need enough water and minerals, especially sodium, potassium, magnesium, and calcium. When these minerals are lacking, the cell's ability to transmit signals, produce energy, and eliminate toxins all decline. And when it comes to minerals, I always recommend plant-based sources, because the minerals in vegetables, seeds, and beans are bonded to organic molecules. That makes them easier for the body to absorb and gentler on the teeth and digestive system. For example, instead of eating a lot of meat for fat, you can choose coconut oil, a medium-chain fat that the liver quickly converts into energy without overloading digestion. And with beans, don't forget to soak or sprout them before cooking. This process breaks down natural digestive inhibitors, making beans easier to digest, richer in enzymes, and more supportive of gut health. The second cause, and also the silent enemy most people overlook, is cellular toxicity. Toxins quietly accumulating in each cell. These toxins aren't far away. They're in the air you breathe, the water you drink every day, the food processed or preserved with chemicals, in medications, antibiotics, pesticides, cleaning products, and even the electromagnetic waves around you. And here's what few people realize. Toxins don't just come from outside. They can also be produced inside your body. When you live under stress, anxiety, sleeplessness, or constant pressure, your body releases cortisol and free radicals, highly reactive oxygen molecules that can damage cell membranes, harm mitochondria, the cell's energy factory, and slow down natural recovery. That's why chronic stress is considered one of the deepest root causes of disease. Over time, all of these factors create a toxic burden that your liver, kidneys, and lymphatic system must constantly work to eliminate. To deal with these toxins, the body needs natural and intelligent support, and high-quality organic herbs are a great choice. They gently activate detox organs like the liver, kidneys, intestines, and skin, while supplying natural antioxidants that neutralize free radicals and protect your cells. When you begin this cleansing process, your body may react. You might feel tired, sleepy, get headaches, or temporarily feel weak. That's not a negative sign. It means your detox system is working, your cells are cleaning up and flushing out waste, like a silent internal renovation. However, if you feel overly exhausted, listen to your body. Reduce the dosage, rest, or pause the cleanse to give your cells time to recover. When cells are weak, the liver and kidneys can't eliminate toxins efficiently, and forcing detox can only make you more fatigued. Give your body time to regain energy, then continue your healing journey once your strength returns. When your cells are strong again, the body's natural healing mechanism will automatically reactivate. At that point, you can continue using herbs or rotate different plants to maintain natural balance. And finally, always remember, this is simply a sharing based on my own experience and observation. Your body is the greatest teacher. Listen to it, because it always knows exactly what it needs. Once you truly connect with your body, it will lead you back to health, balance, and your most natural source of vitality. Now you can also understand why people who practice natural healing often recommend herbal books, minerals, and natural supplements, because they know the body can only recover when it's properly nourished from the inside. Doctors trained in Western medicine, on the other hand, are taught to treat symptoms using synthetic drugs, which may bring quick results but never address the real root cause. Two paths, two philosophies. One treats disease, the other nourishes life. And once you understand this, you'll know which path to choose. The one that leads to true health, sustainability, and freedom. The choice is always yours, because whether it's health or money, in the end, both belong to you. If you choose the path of natural healing, you'll need to change many things: your diet, your habits, and most importantly, your beliefs. Believe that your body can heal itself when you give it what it truly needs. Believe that genes are just the loaded gun, but lifestyle is the finger that pulls the trigger. If you choose the Western medical path, you may enjoy more freedom in eating, indulge in your favorite foods, and avoid what you dislike, like vegetables. But in return, you'll spend more time and money on medications and hospital visits. Your health may stay manageable, but rarely improve, because over time, your liver, kidneys, and digestive system will weaken. Every choice comes with a price. I'm not here to tell you which side to take, only to help you look more closely at the path you're on. Look at the people around you who are 60, 70, or 80 years old. See how they live, what they eat, and what their quality of life really is. Then make your own decision about the path you want to take. Because no matter which direction you choose, you'll need effort and persistence to reach your goal. Before we close this video, I want to share with you a very special healing method: healing through frequency and sound waves. This isn't just music. It's the invisible language of energy, vibrations that can reach deep into your soul. When your body listens to the right frequencies, each cell seems to remember its natural rhythm, the rhythm of balance, peace, and restoration. This method is especially helpful for anyone carrying emotional wounds, anxiety, insomnia, or long-term stress. You can combine sound wave healing with a natural diet and lifestyle, not only to restore the body, but also to soothe the mind and emotions. Because ultimately, healing isn't just about making the body healthy again. It's about bringing your whole self, body, mind, and energy, back into a harmonious frequency of life. Thank you for staying with me until the end of this video. It shows me that you truly care about your healing journey and want to understand your body more deeply. If what you've just heard brought you value, please hit like and subscribe to the channel. It may seem small, but for us, it's a huge motivation to keep researching, sharing, and bringing you higher quality content every day. In the next video, I'll continue to accompany you in exploring the secrets of healing with minerals and natural herbs, the keys that help your body regain its balance, energy, and vitality. See you in the next video.